What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Maร์クです。Alright, so today we're going to be reacting to Takashi, a video by Takashi, and this is things foreigners should never do in Japan.
And any foreigners watching this video, make sure you pay attention.
So what do you think is going to be on the list, Kane?
I think being a nuisance in the streets is going to be one of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a given.
I feel like when I'm in Japan and we're out in like Namba or wherever else we go.
Yeah.
Whenever I see any foreigners that are out and they're like sort of had a little bit of a drink, a bit of alcohol, they're always noisy. They always seem to be a bit too noisy.
Yeah, true. You think that's going to be in the video? That makes sense. So alcohol, foreigners drinking alcohol and being too loud, something like that.
Maybe.
Guys, what do you think foreigners should never do in Japan? I'll tell you something that I learned early on in Japan. Now that I've been here a while, I'm not sure if it's that important. I mean, it is, but basically, I always got told never put your chopsticks inside rice standing up.
Oh, I remember you told me that before.
Yeah, because basically that's how they do that. They do that at funerals, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you're a foreigner in Japan and you do that, it's not the worst thing because you're not supposed to know that, right? So it wouldn't be taken as disrespect. Because how would you know, right?
Yeah, of course. As a non-native Japanese person,
exactly.
You wouldn't really know that. That's not really something that you're gonna learn about Japanese culture.
I feel like it's much more important to not litter in the streets and like stuff like that. Right, you ready, Kanye?
Absolutely, let's
go. Here we go.
外国人が日本でしてはいけないこととか気をつけた方がいいこととかってありますか？
してはいけないこと、
マナーとかルールで日本の
外で飲むビールと
Oh,
か。
bro, cool
ですか？結構日本人してるイメージがあるんですけど。
あ、でもなんか外国の方の方がなんかオープンなので、こう他人を巻き込みすぎちゃう、こう騒音とか。
なるほど。なんか外で飲むこと。
I see what he's saying. So when foreigners drink, they're very open and they want to bring you into their group. And maybe it's... Wait, let's see what he means by that. Maybe they become a bit like rolled up. And you know when you're out having a drink and a drunk person's like, yo, come over here, oi boys.
Yeah, get too noisy.
Yeah, like that. But
too energetic.
But like a Japanese person would drink alone and they wouldn't bother anybody outside of... But they wouldn't...
Their little circle.
Yeah, they still wouldn't bother anybody, right? If they was drinking out on the street. So maybe he's saying foreigners in Japan shouldn't drink in the streets.
だけど飲むなら静かに飲んで人に迷惑かけたりとか大声で喋ったりしないっていう。日本人と接するときに気をつけた方がいいこととかありますか？接し方とか振る舞いとかにおいて。
どうだろう。なんか片言でもいいので、最初もし声かけてくるときは。下手くそでもいいので日本語の方が安心しますね。
確かにそれめっちゃ僕も思ってて、日本人がアメリカとか海外行った時は英語頑張って絶対話そうとするのに、外国人が日本に来る時は英語を通そうとする。
最初に英語で買ってこられると。
Wait, that's so true.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What?
Why is it when foreigners come to the UK, they always try to speak in English, even if they can't speak English very well?
What he said is 100% true. Like, a Japanese person goes to England, they speak English, right? They try. But English people in Japan, they don't try to speak Japanese. Why is that? I think there is obviously a couple of reasons why. Number one, English is the most spoken language in the world, okay?
Yeah.
So, wherever you go and speak English, almost every country in the world can speak English, right? To some degree. And the second reason... To learn phrases in English is very easy compared to learning Japanese, right? For most people.
It is super difficult, guys. It is very hard.
But at the same time, if you're a foreigner and you come to Japan, you should definitely try to learn some basic phrases so you can communicate with people because it's showing respect, I think.
I agree. It shows a sign of respect that you are interested in their culture.
Yeah. Alright, let's carry on with the video.
苦手な方はちょっとこう食って引いちゃうんで。
なるほど、ありがとうございます。日本のマナーとかルールで外国人に気をつけてほしいことだったりとかしてほしくないこととかってありますか？
電車とかでマスク してない人が多いなって思います、外国人の方。
This is during Corona times, right? So
Okay.
back then, you had to wear masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of made it very common for me to do the same.
Yeah.
wearing a mask.
I mean, if you're not sick, then it is whatever, right? But if you've got a cold, you should be definitely wearing a mask. Anyway, continuing.
その人たちについて率直にどう思いますか？
全然まあ国的にはしなくてもいい国もあるじゃないですか。でもなんか日本だから、日本のルール。
電車の中じゃなくて道端とかはどうですか？
まあ外だとなんか今まあ別になんていうか夏とかしなくてもいいって国でもなってるんで、まあ外だとあんまり思わないかもしれないですけど、なんか密集してたら。
飲食店でバイトしてるんですけど、入り口を通らないでスッともう自分でこう席に着いちゃう人とかたまにいて、外国の方だとなんか並ぶっていうのがあんまりその海外の文化だとないのかなって思うので、そこはちょっとなんか気になる感じがあります。
確かにレストラン入るときに入り口で、スタッフの方とかに、この、テーブルに座ってくださいとかって言われるまでは待つっていう。なるほど、ありがとうございます。
Basically, like in England, if we go into a restaurant, we can just go in and sit down, right? In Japan, you have to wait for the staff to, okay, yeah, over here, come and sit down here. I mean, you know, Kane, right? We've gone to quite a few restaurants now. We never go in and just sit down where we want, right?
They usually take you to their table, the designated table.
To be fair to foreigners, unless you hear that rule, how would you know? If you've just come to Japan for the first time and you walk into a restaurant and just go and sit down, well, you know, as long as you, if the staff come over and say, you need to wait like in queue, and then as long as you're polite and say, oh, sorry, I didn't know, or sumimasen.
To be fair also, Japan isn't typically a country that you would just go on holiday if you don't know nothing about it. I feel like if you go to Japan as a holiday, it's because you're interested in Japanese culture. It's something that you've been interested in for a long time before arriving.
I know, but that's it's a weird, like, I don't think they tell you that before you arrive in the country. Make sure that you don't just want to sit down in restaurants. Like,
of course, but I mean, in general, most foreigners wouldn't know that rule in Japan.
I didn't know when I first came here. I didn't know.
I didn't know, and I've been interested in Japan since.
So it's a hard one, you know. What do you guys think? Do you think we should know that before we come to Japan? And if so, how would we know that? Like, how do we know that that's a rule?
Yeah, it's not like a rule book that you can read to what to do and what not to do, right?
Yeah, let's carry on. Is there anything that foreigners shouldn't do in Japan?
外国人が日本に来た時に気をつけてほしいこととか守ってほしいルールとかなんかありますか？
はい、そうですね。順番とか列とかを。
But he said ルール守る to protect the rules, right? Or like follow the rules, basically. But that's assuming the foreigners know about the rule. You can't follow a rule that you don't know about, right?
Of course, exactly right.
So I feel like he's asking in a way that don't make sense. He should be saying things that foreigners shouldn't do in Japan.
まあそういうところをちょっと理解できたり分かってほしいなと思います。
確かに日本ってエレベーター乗る時も、電車乗る時も並びますもんね。
自転車に乗ってる時に音楽を結構大音量でかけてる方とかいらっしゃったりするんですけど、ちょっといきなり音楽が鳴ったりするとびっくり。
Bro, we've seen Japanese people playing their music loud on the bikes, right?
I was about to say that. I've never seen a foreigner doing it, but I've seen Japanese people.
Yeah, we've seen Japanese people do it like a few times actually.
It's not something that I would do personally, but whenever I see like a Japanese person doing it, I just think, he's probably just a really lively, happy person, you know?
することとかあるんで。
イヤホンしろよって。イヤホンを。気をつけた方がいいこととか、日本でしてはいけないことってありますか？
日本人ってやっぱりシャイですから、あまりガーッと来られるとやはり恐怖感を持ったりするので、まあゆったり優しく話しかけてしつこく聞かないとか、そういうことが必要かなと思いますけどね。
なるほど。ニューヨークに住んでる。
I mean, obviously I've been here a while now, right? So I've learned to approach Japanese people differently than how I would approach English people, for example. In England, you could be like, yo, bro, or excuse me. Like, you don't have to have you don't have to watch your tone. But in Japanese, I want them to see me first. I don't want to come from like behind or at the side and like just startle them, like jump scare. I want to be in front of them and then, sumimasen. Like, and I'm like,
that's
whispering,
exactly how I am.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I have this, I don't know, soft heart whenever I approach a Japanese person. Almost like it's like natural for me to just approach them in a soft demeanor. Like,
it's because you know that they find us like maybe intimidating and you don't want to scare them in any way, or I don't know.
I think so, but it's almost like it comes natural. It's not like I try to come out and be like approach them in a soft demeanor. It's like it comes natural because they're just very peaceful people.
Yeah,
right?
True. They are very soft and peaceful people. This dude used to live in New York. Let's see.
そうですね。6年間ですけど。
really? That's a long
OK だ
time.
けど、ニューヨークではダメだったこととか、逆にニューヨークではしてよかったけど、日本ではしてダメなこととかってありました？
絶対ある。
鉄道で郊外から通勤してたんですけど、新聞を読み終わったら、床に捨てて行っちゃうんですよ、アメリカ人って。
そうなんですか。
そういうのはちょっと抵抗ありましたね。
日本は絶対ない。
ないですね。昔はあった。
That's just disrespect for your own country. Like, why would you just litter and throw papers on the floor? Like, that's weird.
Despicable behaviour.
And I definitely know he's telling the truth because I've seen so many videos like a long time ago. You see papers like all on the floor and wet, like even in like movies you see it, right?
If you watch any American TV series or movie that's based around New York or any place like that in America, you'll always see
newspapers,
like trash on the floor or graffiti on the walls or anything like that.
I mean, to have graffiti in the city, that's quite common. Even in Japan, they have graffiti. But they do get rid of it actively in Japan, though.
It's very rare that I'll see graffiti on the walls.
Yeah, it's not as common, yeah, for sure.
基本的になんか外国人ってやっぱり電車とか公共の交通手段で結構うるさかったりとか、なかなかそのなんて言うんでしょう、空気を読むのが慣れてないと思うので、そういうところはやっぱり気を使ったりしなきゃいけないのかなと思いますね。
日本人と接するときに外国人が気をつけた方がいいこととかありますか？振る舞いとか話し方とかそういう違いとか。そうです。多分なんか人ってやっぱりその自分のパーソナルスペースってあるじゃないですか。距離感。日本人って多分それがすごい広いと思うんですよね。距離が広く取る人たちなので、やっぱりそれをこうなんかズケズケと入っていっちゃったりするとやっぱりいけないかなっていうのはありますね。 確かに。ハグしないですもんね。
しないですし、そうです。
Yeah, but like you don't go up to random people and like start hugging them, right? That's just weird.
Of course, yeah.
So like, but when they say personal space, I don't really understand what they mean and in what situation because I don't feel like I've ever gone into someone's personal space. Like, what does that mean? Touching them or?
Yeah, like when you go out to start a conversation, you just walk straight up to their face, just like, "Hello, mate."
Like really close to them, you mean?
Yeah, like
just getting very
that's
close.
A bit creepy.
Yeah, it's weird, right? So even for us, that would be weird, I think. So I agree with that.
Cycling back to when they was talking about foreigners being noisy, I've seen that firsthand on the bus, on the train. Not so much white people, more Chinese people and like.
Well, this is the thing. White people travel to Japan mostly alone. Yeah, mostly alone, right? If they're coming to stay in Japan, and unless it's a family and they've got kids, and maybe the kids are noisy, but like kids are kids, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's different if you're an adult noisy and a kid and noisy, right? Kids, they don't know any better. An adult should know better. Let's continue.
あとはなんか初めての人にこうなんかそういうハイファイブとかもしないです。ちょっとそうするのが慣れないしいよねとか言って。逆にでも外国の方ってそれをフレンドリーに受け止めてもらおうと思ってやってるけど。逆になんかそういうふうに受け止め逆効果なのですごい損かなと思います。
確かに気をつけた方がいいこととか。
Do you know what though?
Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna deny what she said there because I've actually met quite a few Japanese people like guys in particular, like obviously like of the young age, like teenager to young adult.
Yeah.
That when you meet them, they're like smile and like, hey, nice to meet you with a high five, like kind of
That's
thing.
people, that's like younger generation, like kids that have like they're like more exposed to like YouTube now and TikTok, and they've not been westernized, but they're more familiar with Western culture. So now when you're like, hey, high five, they understand it more. But like older people in Japan are not as familiar or not as comfortable with that style, right? So for sure, young people is fine.
I couldn't even imagine attempting that with an older person in Japan. That just seems very strange.
Yeah.
に守ってほしいマナーとかなんかありますか？
エレベーターですかね。よくショッピングモールにエレベーターあるんですけども、これを左側にいるっていうことですかね。はい。
確かに確かに、
はい、ですね。
確かにそうですね。
True. And I see Japanese people doing this as well, by the way. Like
whenever you're on the escalator, stay to the left side unless you want to walk up the stairs. Always down.
I mean, the thing is, you shouldn't be walking on escalators anyway, I don't think. But like, anyway, stand on the left side. I see foreigners do this. I even see Japanese young people do this. It's much better to stand on the left side. I'm not sure why, so the right side people can walk up them, maybe. But I feel like you're not supposed to walk or run on escalators anyway. So anyway, let's continue.
めっちゃサウナ行くんですけど、これ外国人に限らずなんですけど、特に守ってほしいのは水風呂入る前に汗流してほしいです。
確かにそれは確かに多分あれですね、銭湯とか温泉行っても先にシャワー浴びたりとかっていうのが大事ですよね。外国人に気をつけてほしいマナーだったりとかしてはいけないことって何かありますか？
これしていけないっていう感覚って
whenever you go to a sauna, that should be a rule before even being allowed to go to the baths.
Yeah, true.
これしていけないっていう感覚ってなんていうの、その人とその人の間で生じることだから、だから一般的にどうのかじゃないと思うので、その人は自分と今どういう関係なんだろうかみたいなのはちょっと考えた方がいいかもしれないね。だからなんていうか、日本人だから例えばみんなが親切だとかみんながシャイだとかっていうわけではなくて、外国人だからということですごくなんていうの、例えば握手したりとかハグしたりとかっていうのがみんなが OK じゃないと思うんだよね。
じゃあ人によるんですね。
だからなんだろう、自分とその人との距離感をちゃんと確認しないと、それは別に国とか生まれとかのことじゃなくて、その人と私との間っていうことかなって思います。
He's very wise, honestly. Like what he's saying is like exactly true. He's basically saying just to be a simpler way, just be considerate of your surroundings. That's it.
It doesn't matter where someone is from. Everyone is different. You know, there could be a person from England that loves to hug people, and there's other people in England that don't like to hug people. And
we're not all the same, right? And nor are Japanese people.
Yeah, everyone's different. So you know, don't judge everyone based on where they come from. Everyone is different.
Yeah. That's Takashi, guys. Good video. I like to hear the perspectives of Japanese people. Anything to close up with? I think we said enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the last thing I was gonna say is I'm quite a nice person in general, so I make a habit of making sure I always smile at anyone that I come across. If we make eye-to-eye contact, I am gonna smile.
Yeah, you're a smiley person. I noticed that.
It's because I like to let them know that I'm not a threat.
Hello. Anyway, guys, as long as people are being respectful, that's really what matters, right? It's common sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Let us know in the comments, what do you think foreigners should never do in Japan? I think most of them are obvious, right? Don't litter.
Yeah.
Don't be loud. But if there's anything we've missed, type it in the comments. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Yosh!